Good evening. The devastation caused in Pakistan by extensive flooding has been called a crisis of unimaginable proportions by its climate change minister. She says that a third of the country is now underwater. The disaster has killed over 1,100 people and affected 33 million. Provinces like Sindh and Balochistan in the south are the worst affected, but mountainous regions in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa have also been badly hit by heavy rainfall and swollen rivers. Sindh province is low-lying and it's received 8 times its average rainfall for August. The catastrophe is not yet over. Water is still surging down the mighty Indus River, with fears that it could cause more flooding and landslides downriver. The BBC has been filming across the country, including our correspondent Pumza Filani, who has sent this report from the city of Sukur.
A moment of quiet in the middle of chaos. Inside a crowded hall, families that have been displaced by the floods in northern Pakistan have found temporary refuge. For many, it was a narrow escape.
Our houses have collapsed because of the floods. We had a home and it was enough for us. Now all our belongings are buried under 12 to 13 feet of water. When I left with my children, I saw my house collapse.
The rivers are swelling and all many can do is stand and watch. The raging floods and mudslides have forced people to flee to higher ground. On the other side of the country, in Sindh, there's been some reprieve from the rains, but swathes of land are still underwater and unlivable. Many families have settled near major roads or wherever there is still dry land. Families have been displaced across Pakistan, but the people that have been worst affected are the poor, people who had very little to begin with. The community that we found here used to live on the banks of the Indus River, which has been overflooding for weeks. They came here because this was higher ground. Many of them traveled for hours and kilometers to try and get here. Just behind me is the little means that they've been able to put together. There aren't any tents here, there's no clean drinking water, there isn't even any food, and they don't know, they tell me, why they've been neglected. Farmer Gopi has been sleeping in an open field for a week. Today, he has finally gathered enough branches and sticks to build shelter for his family.
Even when the water recedes, all we will have are these branches. Our homes are gone. We have nothing. I was able to grow my own vegetables back home, and everything is gone now. I can't even feed my children. We need help.
The floods have not only taken lives, they've taken livelihoods too. Iqbal Ali has travelled across 2 provinces, searching for suitable land for his herd. He's hoping that if he can keep them alive, then he has a chance to rebuild his life. Local aid agencies say they are doing all they can to help, but admit they are overwhelmed and do not have enough resources. Government officials who have dealt with floods many times before have said this time is different. This year's rains were unprecedented and have brought untold tragedy to the people of Pakistan. Pumza Filani, BBC News, Sindh.